Britain finds itself standing on a knife's edge. In the shadows of Westminster, whispers echo through the corridors. Is this the end for Sir Keir Starmer? A party once triumphant now seems consumed by doubt, scandal, and betrayal. Millions of older voters, once the bedrock of stability in British elections, are drifting away, their loyalty fractured, their gaze fixed on a man once dismissed as a sideshow, Nigel Farage. And as Labour gathers in Liverpool for its annual conference, one question looms over the entire nation: is the tide turning faster than Starmer can control? Before we dive deeper into this political storm, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Echo Britain, and drop a comment below. Your voice matters, especially now, as Britain wrestles with its future. Tell us, would you rather see Nigel Farage or Keir Starmer in number 10? The stage was set in Liverpool, where the Labour faithful had gathered for their annual conference. But instead of celebration, a heavy cloud hung over the party. The cracks began with Angela Rayner, once hailed as the fiery deputy who could balance Starmer's loyally calm. Her sudden resignation as Deputy Prime Minister shocked loyalists, leaving an unfillable void. As if that were not enough, Lord Mandelson, a political heavyweight, walked away from his position as US ambassador. 2 departures. 2 humiliations. And all of it feeding into the narrative that Starmer's grip is slipping. Meanwhile, new polling by Ipsos revealed devastating truths: the public no longer trusts Labour to act with competence or integrity. The numbers speak louder than words. 67% of Britons believe the government is doing a bad job on reducing the cost of living. Alarm bells rang in Labour HQ, but it was too late. The anger had already spread. And then came the revelation that truly rattled Westminster. Among voters aged 55 to 75, those most likely to vote, the tide had turned. When given a direct choice between Sir Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage, only 27% chose Starmer, while a staggering 48% rallied behind Farage. Older voters, once sceptical of Reform UK, were now embracing it as their banner of defiance. Why? The shock axing of universal winter fuel payments for pensioners, a policy reversal that many described as heartless. Even though Labour later restored much of the support, the damage was done. Trust had been shattered, and wounds like these do not heal before elections. Reform UK seized the moment. Lee Anderson, a Reform MP, thundered. Given Labour's disastrous track record in office over the last 14 months, including their humiliating U-turn on the winter fuel payment, it's no wonder so many are turning to reform. And he wasn't alone. Former Conservative Brexit Minister David Jones added fuel to the fire. For many voters aged 55 and over, Nigel Farage speaks more directly to their concerns about security, national identity, and the cost of living, while Starmer comes across as cautious and managerial. In other words, Farage is plain-spoken, direct, unapologetic. Exactly the kind of figure older generations are craving in an era of political doublespeak. Sir Jake Berry, once a Tory chairman, now openly backs reform. His words cut through the noise. Uncontrolled, low-skilled immigration has changed everyday life. People do not have pride of place where they live, and we live in a country where nothing works. This wasn't just critique, it was an indictment of Labour's Britain. But the real dagger came not from Farage or his allies, but from within Labour itself. Andy Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, admitted that MPs had quietly encouraged him to consider standing for the leadership. For Starmer, this was betrayal in broad daylight. His authority questioned. His leadership threatened. The Ipsos poll only deepened the wounds. It revealed that 73% believed Angela Rayner was right to resign, while 63% said they had little or no confidence that the country was being run properly, competently, or with integrity. Starmer's promise of a government beyond reproach now looked like a cruel joke. And the contrast could not be sharper. While only 35% of voters could say clearly what Starmer stands for, a massive 64% said the same of Farage. Even the Conservatives' rising figure Kemi Badenoch lagged behind at 33%. Farage, once derided as a fringe populist, had become the clearest voice in British politics. Even among the young, Labour's support looked fragile. though 38% overall still preferred Starmer to Farage. The fact that 35% backed Farage in a straight fight revealed how close the contest has become. Meanwhile, a shocking 67% of Britons said the country is heading in the wrong direction. From outside the Labour tent, knives were sharpening. Kevin Hollinrake, Conservative Party chairman, struck hard. A dud from day one, run by careerists, captured by unions, and consumed by internal scandal. Keir Starmer's Labour government has been a disaster for Britain, and the public have had enough. He went further, accusing Labour of delivering only drift, dysfunction, and higher taxes. Inside Labour, MPs whispered of chaos. One unnamed Labour MP admitted, "This is massively damaging. The fact is, Starmer said we'd have a government beyond reproach. The trouble is, you can't control everybody, and somewhere, even in the cabinet, somebody is doing something they shouldn't be doing, and it will come out, as it always does." The party of government, once boasting stability and competence, was now marred by scandal, rebellion, and whispers of a coup. So here Britain stands, a nation torn between a cautious leader and a plain-spoken populist. The Labour Party is bleeding from within, resignations, betrayals, humiliating U-turns. And looming in the shadows is Nigel Farage, no longer a sideshow but a contender who commands the loyalty of millions. Will Keir Starmer survive long enough to rebuild trust, or is Britain destined to turn towards the unapologetic voice of reform? The answer remains shrouded in uncertainty. But one thing is clear, the storm over Westminster is only just beginning. Don't forget to subscribe to Echo Britain, leave your thoughts below, and tell us. Is Nigel Farage the future Prime Minister Britain is waiting for, or will Labour find a way to hold on?